Today, we're diving into the teachings of Buddhist master Jun Hong Lu.
Right. He's, well, a major international figure promoting traditional Chinese culture, peace, helping millions through Buddhist ideas. He has, what, over 10 million followers?
That's right. And if you want the full background on Master Lu, definitely check out our first deep dive. We covered a lot there.
Good point. So today we're focusing specifically on one of his texts, The Wonderful Functions of the Dharma.
Exactly.
It sounds intriguing, like how Buddhism actually, well, functions. What's he getting at?
Yeah, it's a great title. Basically, Master Lu explains these wonderful functions as the effective ways, the methods, concepts, actions that Buddhas and Bodhisattvas use.
To do what, exactly?
To help awaken sentient beings, spiritually speaking. He stresses that real guidance needs methods that actually connect, that create change, not just theory.
And he points to his own work, doesn't he? Using modern stuff to share ancient wisdom.
He does. He specifically mentions using things like radio and the internet, spreading Buddhist teachings, scriptures, reaching a huge audience in ways they can actually access.
That's a perfect example of a wonderful function, then. Adapting the method.
Precisely. It's about making profound ideas accessible right now.
Okay, so the text also has some stories that really illustrate these points. The one about the disrespectful Thun and Guanyin Bodhisattva. That one's quite memorable.
Oh, definitely. It's very direct. The text tells us about this son. Outwardly, he seemed to follow Buddhism, but he treated his mother really poorly, caused her a lot of pain.
And then he prays for a sign.
Yes, he prays to Guanyin Bodhisattva, asking for some kind of sign, some indication.
And the answer he gets is, well, not what he expected, right?
Not at all. The message comes back that Guanyin Bodhisattva is already in his house.
Already there. How?
As the person wearing clothes inside out and shoes on the wrong feet.
Ah, right. Which turned out to be his mother.
His mother, yeah. Apparently she was so flustered and frightened by his impatient knocking that she'd gotten dressed in a panic.
Wow, so that must have been a huge moment of realization for him.
Absolutely. He instantly understood. His own disrespect, his lack of basic kindness to his own mother, that was the blockage. That's why he wasn't receiving any blessings.
So the moral isn't some complex doctrine, it's basic human decency.
Exactly that. Master Lu uses it to highlight how vital simple respect and care are. In our everyday interactions, it's foundational.
It makes you think, doesn't it? How much weight those small daily interactions carry, spiritually speaking, especially with family.
Right. We can get caught up in big ideas and forget the practice starts right here, with how we treat the people closest to us.
Simple kindness as spiritual practice. Okay. The text then moves into merit and virtue. These terms can feel a bit abstract sometimes. How does Master Lu approach them?
He makes it very practical. He teaches that merit and virtue come from, and I'm quoting loosely here, constantly seeing your inherent nature, letting your inherent nature dwell permanently, and realizing the wonderful functions of the Buddha nature.
Okay, inherent nature. That's our core goodness, our potential, like the Buddha nature.
Yes, essentially. And the key takeaway, the real insight, is that living from that inherent Buddha nature in daily life, that is merit and virtue.
So it's not just about doing good deeds.
Well, it is, but the deeds need to be rooted in that inherent nature to count as true merit and virtue. It's about the quality of mind behind the action,
Right, the intention. He also talks about the Buddha of inherent nature. Is that just another way of saying our inherent nature is Buddha?
That's exactly it. He puts it very plainly. Our inherent nature is Buddha, full stop.
Okay, so how do we connect with that? He gives some steps, doesn't he?
He does, a kind of three-part approach: witnessing, visualizing, and applying.
Witnessing, visualizing, applying. Can we break those down maybe with some everyday examples?
Sure. Witnessing is about recognizing it. Seeing and confirming, yes, I have this core of goodness, this Buddha nature within me.
Acknowledging it exists.
Right. Then visualizing is about keeping it in mind, constantly thinking of it, identifying with that potential for enlightenment, not just our flaws or problems.
Kind of holding it as your true identity.
Sort of, yes. And then applying. That's the crucial part. It means thoroughly integrating Buddhist philosophy, those principles, into your actual daily life, your thoughts, your speech, your actions.
Okay, examples. Let's say you're at work.
Okay, work conflict. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, you consciously choose patience. You try to understand the other person's view. You aim for peace. That's applying Buddha nature.
Or even something mundane, like making dinner.
Yeah. Instead of just rushing through it on autopilot, maybe you practice mindfulness. You feel gratitude for the food, for the ability to prepare it. You put care into it. That's applying it too.
So these conscious choices, moment by moment, build merit and virtue.
That's the idea. When they stem from recognizing and trying to embody that inherent nature.
That makes it much more tangible. Now, the text also mentions meritorious deeds in specific contexts, like helping out at Dharma talks or Buddhist events.
Yes, he acknowledges that benevolent deeds done in those settings supporting the Dharma are certainly meritorious, good karma.
But then he says something even more powerful about forgetting yourself.
Ah, yes, that's a really profound point. He says basically, if you help people to the extent that you forget about yourself, people will see you as a bodhisattva, as will you.
Wow.
At this moment, he continues, your merit and virtue are boundless.
Boundless, so true selflessness and service.
Yeah.
That's the pinnacle. A bodhisattva is someone dedicated to others' awakening, right?
Exactly. And that state of complete focus on others, where your own ego kind of dissolves in the act of helping, Master Lu says that's where limitless merit is found.
It's not about seeking reward, but about genuine altruism bringing its own immense inner reward.
Precisely, that deep fulfillment that comes from selfless service.
Okay,
Let's take a short pause. When we come back, we'll explore how understanding the mind leads us closer to true awakening.
shifting gears a bit, the text talks about understanding the mind and awakening. This can feel like a pretty advanced topic.
It can be, but Master Lu offers a really interesting, almost cautionary point. He says something like, if a person says, I've awakened, then they have in fact not truly awakened.
Huh. It's quite the paradox. So claiming it means you haven't actually got it.
That seems to be the implication. True understanding, true awakening, he suggests, comes with humility. It's not something you boast about. It's quiet.
Interesting. And he distinguishes between just knowing things intellectually and actually living them.
Absolutely. He makes a clear distinction. Just grasping the concepts, even profound ones, isn't enough. Awakening means integrating them, embodying them in your life.
But it's not just an internal realization then. It has an outward expression.
Definitely. He emphasizes that true awakening involves actively helping others, sharing insights, guiding people towards freedom from suffering, using your understanding for the benefit of all.
So if you understand but don't act, you're missing a key component.
That seems to be the message. It connects back to that idea of selfless service, in a way. Your awakening fuels your compassion and action in the world.
That resonates. Like if you learn something valuable, the natural next step is to share it, which deepens your own understanding too.
Exactly.
The text also brings up equality. How does that fit in?
It's crucial. Master Lu points out that feelings of inequality, feeling superior or inferior based on wealth, status, whatever these feelings, can actually block your practice.
How so?
Well, if you're holding on to a sense of division or hierarchy within yourself, how can you genuinely practice universal compassion or see the Buddha nature in everyone equally?
Right, that internal feeling of inequality prevents you from truly applying the principle of equality.
Precisely. It creates a contradiction. The teachings emphasize oneness, but that feeling maintains separation.
Okay. Then there's the link between our inner state and our outer behavior, again related to merit and virtue.
Yes. He talks about outward etiquette, politeness, refined speech, saying these constitute virtue, things people can see.
Like being courteous.
Right. But he immediately follows up by saying that inner qualities are just as, if not more, important. Things like genuine understandability, real humility inside.
So it's not just putting on a polite face, it has to be authentic.
Exactly. True merit and virtue, in his view, combine both. Inner humility, outer courtesy, ethical actions, all stemming from genuine understanding, not just surface level stuff.
It's about integrating the inner and the outer, aligning them.
You got it. Like consciously choosing kindness even when you feel irritated inside. That's the practice.
There's another line that stood out. Your own nature establishing innumerable dharmas is merit.
Sounds big.
It's quite profound. Dharmas here basically refers to, well, everything, all phenomena, including our thoughts, our actions, our words.
So our inherent nature is the source of everything we do and think and say.
That's the idea. It's the foundation. And when that inherent Buddha nature is the guiding force behind all those dharmas, our actions, speech, thoughts, that is when we accumulate merit.
Living in alignment with that core goodness. Right. But he adds a really important clarification
Which is?
that while all dharmas, even negative ones, ultimately stem from our inherent nature, they become no good, as the text might put it, because that nature gets clouded
Clouded by what?
by defilements, negative habits, ignorance, accumulated over countless lifetimes, countless rebirths. This contamination leads to karmic obstacle.
So our nature is inherently good, but it's been obscured, which is why we sometimes act negatively. That makes sense. It's not like we have two separate natures, one good, one bad.
Exactly. It offers a more nuanced view. The potential is always there, just sometimes hidden.
Let's take another short break. When we return, we'll explore how Master Lu guides us beyond daily distractions toward transcending the mundane world.
And finally, the text closes with this really expansive idea, perceiving everything as the manifestation of Buddha nature.
Yes, it's a powerful closing thought. Master Lu states it very clearly. Everything in the world is the manifestation of the Buddha nature. All phenomena, physical and mental.
Everything, like this microphone, the chair I'm sitting on.
From this perspective, yes, they are all evolutions or expressions of that fundamental enlightened nature.
And if we actually manage to see the world that way.
He suggests it's transformative. By cultivating that perception, seeing the Buddha nature in everything, we actually move towards realizing our own Buddha nature, towards becoming Buddha.
That's huge. How does one even begin to practice that? He gives examples, right? Like gratitude.
Exactly. Gratitude is key. Feeling thankful for simple things, like you said, a chair that supports you, recognizing guidance when you receive it from a teacher, appreciating the harmony or even the lessons in your family relationships.
Seeing them as blessings.
You're actively looking for the Buddha nature, the blessings, the sacred in your everyday experiences. Master Lu really encourages that active cultivation of gratitude and this way of seeing.
Wow. Okay, so let's try and sum up this deep dive into Master Lu's wonderful functions of the Dharma.
It feels like the core themes are really about practical application, right? Not just theory.
Definitely. And cultivating both inner virtue, like humility, and outer virtue, like courtesy and respect. Especially respect in our daily interactions. That story was powerful.
Yeah. And the idea of selfless action, forgetting yourself in service to others, leading to boundless merit.
And finally, this potential to see the Buddha nature everywhere, in everything, and how that transforms our own experience.
It's a lot to take in, but very practical at its heart. This has been our deep dive into the wonderful functions of the Dharma by Master Jinhong Lu.
And just a reminder, this is a nonprofit project. We're just here to share knowledge and insights we find interesting.
If you want to explore Master Lu's teachings further, or if you have questions about anything we discussed, please do check out the show notes. We'll put links there.
And please, email us. Let us know what topics you're curious about. What should we dive into next? We really want to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's a final thought to maybe mull over. How might consciously trying to see the Buddha nature in just one person or even one situation today, how might that shift your perspective, your actions?
Something to consider.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.